Yeah, I'm agnostic. I don't care. I support Charlie Hebdo. I don't have any problems with the drawings that they're doing. They're purposely offensive in this case. They're trying to rub people's face in it, but it's a free country. You can do whatever you want, right? But all the people who are offended by the cartoons are not savages.
No.
And if you call those hundreds of millions of people, perhaps into the billions, savages, well, then we begin to get a better sense of your state of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I have to admit that up until Charlie Hebdo, I thought, perhaps naively, that it doesn't make sense rationally that so many people would have such an opposition to seeing an image like that. And perhaps if it just happened a bunch of times in a short period of time, that then they would push past it.
What the fuck? You're thinking on this change at Charlie Hebdo? Where have you been? What the hell? What elephant ass has your head been lodged in for the past decade? Good God, man. How about the multiple riots and killings that happened all across the Muslim world when that YouTube movie about Muhammad was released? That was all over the news. How about the Danish cartoonist? Or the Dutch filmmaker that was killed? Or, I don't know, Salman Rushdie? The Satanic Verses. Ring a bell? How about the global jihad sweeping across the world all around you? Anything? No? Nothing. No, you took Charlie Hebdo, okay.
That apparently is not the case, and that's not going to happen. And so now I have a slightly different opinion on the wisdom of drawing it.
Screech the brakes. Somebody download me a sound effect of a record player skipping and screeching, because what the fuck did he just say? Rewind. Instantly.
I have to admit that up until Charlie Hebdo, I thought, perhaps naively, that it doesn't make sense rationally that so many people would have such an opposition to seeing an image like that. And perhaps if it just happened a bunch of times in a short period of time, that then they would push past it. That apparently is not the case, and that's not going to happen. And so now I have a slightly different opinion on the wisdom of drawing it.
So now I have a slightly different opinion on the wisdom of drawing it? Wait a minute, your opinion is not on the insane, psychopathic, murderous behavior of huge portions of the human race? That's not the takeaway? The takeaway isn't, oh, so now I have a slightly different opinion on the abject evil and the barbarity of which the members of this death cult are willing to take. No, he changed his opinion on the wisdom of expressing your own freedom, on the wisdom of drawing the goddamn cartoon. That's his angle on this. That's his takeaway. Amazing. Way to get it 1,000,000% wrong. Way to plant your foot firmly on the dead wrong side of history. Bravo, John. What a courageous guy this is. A member of the free press, siding with the cowering weaklings of this world who want to bend over and take one up the ass from a totalitarian fascist regime of theocrats. Impressive.
But the idea that now, because of the shooting, every time they react with violence, that just proves we need it even more, which they will then react with violence, which proves we need it even more. It's an endless cycle of stupid, unnecessary violence without...
Yes, John. It proves we do need it even more. Do you guys know what he's talking about when he says it here? It means freedom of speech. John, this is a deal breaker. Freedom of speech matters. It is sacred. It is worth fighting for. If these backward-ass camel piss drinkers think that they can just intimidate us out of the freedom of speech, they are dead wrong. Ask Christopher Hitchens, who is currently doing backflips in his grave. Christopher Hitchens would literally hitch slap you right now. And the only thing stupid about this cycle is the fact that these backward-ass followers of an ancient religion insist on the barbaric dictates of said religion. That's the problem we're trying to address and fight head on.
She's never explained why you need to do it in the first place. It's not like those cartoonists where, you know, I'm a cartoonist and just every day it comes up that I would like to be able to draw the Prophet Muhammad, but oh shucks, I can't. They're only doing it to antagonize Muslims.
Victim blaming at its most precious. Let me ask you, Stacy, why, Stacy, have you decided to wear that skirt? Why did you do it? You got raped. You got raped for it. And yet you went out and I see other women and they wear skirts. Why are they doing it? What's the point? Yeah, we get it. You have the right to wear a skirt, but why are you doing it? You know you're going to get raped. You know there's a chance that some rapist is going to get tempted by that. Victim blaming, John. You're victim blaming, and you have no conception as to the value of freedom of speech or what freedom of speech is. The reason, John, we do it is because we don't want to live in a world where some group of people say, you know what, go about your business, you have all the freedoms in the world, but just so you know, if you decide to say this one word or do this one thing, I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you. So, John, here's a little thought experiment. John, go about your broadcast. By all means, broadcast away. You're in America, you have the freedom of speech. If you say the word purple, I'll fucking slit your motherfucking throat. But by all means, talk about everything you want, express your ideas, have conversations. It's a beautiful world where we have rights and freedoms. Say the word purple and I'll fucking gut you. You motherfucker, say it. Say the word purple. I dare you, bitch. And if I don't do it, one of my friends will. You say the word purple, we got a major motherfucking problem. But you have all the freedoms in the world. I respect your right. I respect your right to say the word peach. To say the word green. You could say the word orange, yellow, and brown for all I care. Say the word purple, I'll fucking gouge out your eyes and chop your head off. Just so you know. So, I don't think it's wise for your health, John, to say the word purple. You might want to rethink that one, playa. John, that's not freedom. And when you avoid the one thing that they hang over your head like a motherfucking albatross, all it shows is that you're a fucking coward. A fearful little bitch who lives in Brentwood. You know where this guy lives, everybody? He lives in Brentwood, California, on the corner of San Vicente Boulevard and Barrington. That's where he lives. Actually, just kidding. I don't know where he lives. And wouldn't it be fucked up if I gave out his address? Because you know what? Some Muslims might go kill him. I'm sorry, not Muslims. Gunmen. Some shooters might go kill him if I gave out his address. Bitch. Fucking bitch. Say purple. Say it.
And then I have less sympathy for them. There are all sorts of images that we find to be offensive. Swastikas are offensive. Burning crosses are offensive. You could say that, well, if I was to go into a neighborhood and set up some burning crosses and people got offended, that would prove that I need to do this, but that is nonsense. So why in all of these cases is it nonsense, but with that one thing, does it prove that the ridiculous jihad that you are currently engaged in makes all the sense in the world?
Okay, many things to address there. John, that's a terrible analogy, a terrible comparison. First of all, swastikas, let's address that one. I think you should have the right to wear swastika if you want. I mess around with swastikas. I put them in my videos. I have the right because it's a symbol. I have the freedom of expression. I can do that. The reason why it is seen as a ghastly thing is because the swastika is representative of an evil organization known as the Nazis, who did some bad stuff, including a genocide. Much like the Young Turks in Turkey committed a genocide against Armenians, 1.5 million. The guy sitting to your left denies that happened. So many people might find the symbol of the phrase the Young Turks, the group that did this genocide, to be offensive. Many people find anything related to Christianity to be offensive. Any cross, forget a burning cross, it's all offensive. A burning cross might offend some people because it was the symbol of the KKK 100 years ago, a group you guys bring up all the time, even though today there's like 5,000 of them, and they do nothing. They haven't done a thing in decades, in generations, and yet you guys bring them up as a boogeyman. They're the cornerstone of your false equivalence and distraction. A cartoon of Muhammad, if anything, it's being critical of a cult of death, of people who behead and kill. Like Islam. Islam has done nothing but subjugate and kill people from its get-go. So really the comparison is more like a cartoon or drawing of somebody who's against Nazis. And guess what? If there's some remaining Nazis, they would be offended by my anti-Nazi cartoon. Or, let's say I wanted to poke fun at Christians or the KKK, and I drew something offensive, and I said I have a burning cross and a big X over it. I'm sure one of the 5,000 members of the KKK would be offended by that. That's the more apt analogy. You've inverted the analogy because you are ass backwards on this. People expressing their right to free speech and mocking Islam and denouncing Islam, which everybody should be doing, is not a jihad. You fucking wordsmith. No, we are against jihad, you asshat. That's the entire point. But please, keep spraying your words around and let's play that word game, John. You are hucking and jiving, man. Tap dancing, you fucking disgrace.
Gerne.